Welcome to SharkCapTable, LITE. Make a deal and keep your arms and legs. This is about one round of equity and royalty financing. A couple little things first. We can hide the help, which cleans the area of clutter. We can instead call these investors sharks, but let's say they are VCs. Well, maybe an investor, whatever you want. Now, this little spin button here will scroll through some interesting pieces of help. And now we get into the meat. So here we're going to structure the company with founder shares and pre-money options. Let's put an investment of $10,000 and another $15,000. Let's give out $500,000. Let's give out $600,000. So now we have $25,000 and we've issued 1.1 million shares for an average of 0.02273. Let's put in $500 for our option. Let's do $50,000. There we go. So the yellow down here basically tells you what you got. 0.02217, 25,500 has been invested by founders and option holders for a total of 1.15000 fully diluted shares. Now we are going to have to put an option pool. Professional investors like them, and we want to please them, so they do dilute these guys up here. Nominal price, let's say 200. Moving right along. Let's go to the detailed founder valuation. Now, there's the $25,000. If we wanted to get very detailed, we could go to the red sheet, detailed founder valuation. Notice that there are, let's move this guy over here, that there are three, let's move him right there. Okay. Notice that there are three tabs. We have been in SharkCapTable LITE, and we are now in detailed founder valuation. There are 6 basic components to founder's valuation. You can change the subheadings, put the numbers in that you think by the yellow, check out these red guys here, and you're good to go. We are not going to go through those details. We are simply going to come in here and use this little spinner here. We're going to say we are worth $450,000. 25 plus 450 gives us a founder's valuation of $475. We are now looking for $300,000 from the investors, and I'm sorry, we think that they will give us maybe a $450 or $425 investor pre-money value, and we now are looking for $300,000. So we're going to spin 300 in. We could just type in 300, be a little quicker. We have to have these things here because spin buttons in native Excel only give you 30,000, and we're going to have numbers bigger than 30,000, so these are multipliers. All right, so let's keep on going. Now here we have a section called the Enterprise Exit Valuation and Revenue Projections with Royalties. Here we have a little revenue projection. I've already put it in there. You could connect any one of these red lines, which happens to be EBITDA, and ending cash with your financial model. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to spin in what we think we're going to sell the business for. We think we're going to get $2.2 million. Again, you could just enter $2.2 million there. And we're going to use the top spinner here to assume a year 4 sale. Now I want to show you some interesting things. Based upon a $2.2 million sale, it is a multiple of revenues, which happen to be $1 million. If you look forward and wanted to see what it would be on a forward basis, this is generally known as current or trailing, we would click one forward and we would then see that the 2.2 million is barely 1.1 times the revenues. Let's click it back and stay at 4. Also, we have EBITDA multiple, and we get the EBITDA multiple from the EBITDA which we've entered. There's a percentage here which allows you to kind of guess if you don't have a financial model. You know, EBITDA in the 10 to 15% range is not too outrageous. Also, you need to estimate how much cash you will have, because we're going to ascribe a royalty which is going to come out of cash. So there it is. Now let's come on down here and see what we've done for the deal. Here's the equity deal, and we got the 300,000, the shares issued, price per share. This is the pre-money value, and you know that when we change this, it all changes everything. That's what this is, a pre-money calculator. There's the sale or the exit in year 4, and because we've generated a pre-money value of 425, it generates 41.4%, or about $890,000 to the investors. And they get a 2.97 and a 31.96 multiple and IRR respectively, and they own a little over 41%. Before we go any further, you must remember to do this, because if you don't copy these into these inert places, they will spin and change and you will not be able to remember what they were. And we are going to use these to compare and contrast a strategy which I'm going to show you next. It's called the combo strategy. When you see red, do something about it. Pick a preferential royalty. Now, preferential base will be multiplied, so we need something in here. Good number is $50,000. We need to have a preferential royalty of, let's say, 6% on sales. And this red says preferential base multiplier, so let's give them 3 to 1 on this base, which is 50. So you can guess the 3 to 1 is going to give you 150,000, and what do you know? There it is. It even tells you cap on royalty revenue equals 3 times the base. This, as a preferential royalty, is all they're going to get. And even if you sell the business in a couple of years, they will get that from proceeds. Now, let's see what we can do about taking back some of our equity, because we've given them an extra $150,000. Now you see why we copied this little guy. When we were doing the equity, we had $890, and now we got a little over $1 million by virtue of the fact that the $890 we added $150,000. See, there's 150, 890, presto. What I want to do is I want to try to make this blue number over here equal to this one by taking and increasing pre-money value. That's pretty close. I'm going to come up here and try to fine-tune it. Well, I can't. 98 is good enough. So there we have it. Notice what's happened. We used to give away 41.38% of the company. Now we've given 32.4%. And if you read this down here, it kind of tells you all about it. But we've saved ourselves 8.9 equity points. Not bad. Okay, so that's the new deal. Let's go on down here. And by the way, I'm not going to read these to you now, but I suggest strongly that you read these. This is a very good analysis of why you should use a combo royalty. There's one major reason. Small companies generally have a negative net worth or shareholders' equity. You cannot, under corporate law in every one of the 52 states and in many world nations, cannot pay dividends when you have a deficit. That's a Ponzi scheme, folks, and we're not into Ponzi schemes. Go see Bernie Madoff if that's what you want to do. Although you'd have to go visit him in jail. All right. So now let's progress. We are going to go and look at our concatenation statement, which comes from the capitalization table data. Capitalization table, of course, is what you've been looking for, and here's the investor's share, the investment, the shares issued, share price, post-money, exit value, with the royalty, and the 4-year internal rate of return. And you'll notice there's a line item here called no investment unit offered. Well, we are not doing that, but it is used in an analysis done in the green tab, SharkCapTable Fast, which is, by the way, part of the package that you will be buying. All right, back to the cap table, folks. There's the founders, pre-money options, and so forth and so on. All this good data is right there for you to use. Now, let's go down and take a quick look at the summary of founder shares and pre-money options. There's the detail. Voila, presto, there's the detail for the options. Now let's come down and look at the really cool thing that we have here. All right, this top drop down allows you to pick 7 or 8 different kinds of businesses. Let's do an internet business. Let's call it Brucent. There you go. Kind of like Brucent with Lucent. Anyway, there's me, Bruce Bedeau. You have to put in the founder's name. If you don't have a second founder, just take him out. But I do have a founder partner, business partner, Glenn Gutierrez. He's our internet genius in the marketing department on the internet. Okay, so now let's look at this. The revenue goal statement, and it says, and the funding will help us reach our year 4 projected revenue goal of $1 million. Notice if we come over here, it's going to simply walk through year 6, 5, and 4. But notice what else is happening down here. We are selling in the same year. So if you go like this, it says, why are you selling later or earlier? Bad choice. Why sell before your revenue goal? So make these two the same. Now, here's what we're doing. We have a whole series of statements that describe a business. You know, the example of product and service, example of a one founder substantiating the pre-money value, the example of two founders substantiating pre-money value, and the example of the use of the proceeds. We've given these as examples. You're going to go in here and copy them as best you can. You don't have a lot of space. We have to limit it. Try to use the same kind of punctuation and capitalization. It will all fit very nicely into this concatenation statement. And of course, if you change any of the numbers while it's still here, presto, they're all up to date, which can save you hours. It is really hard to write one of these statements unless you're a lawyer. Now, let's go to the third tab, red, which is executive summary. And I'm going to print preview so you can see where we are. This is a one-pager. You can print it. You can make a PDF. You can send it out. Do what you want. But it's a great thing to use to elicit support from investors early on. You're going to have to write this. The rest of this stuff comes right in from the program. Escape, come on back. I'm going to show you a couple of important things. The first thing is that this right here is actually editable. It's editable because we have cut and pasted it from this section here. This section here is coming in from the program. How do you cut and paste? It's not hard. Don't freak out. Follow the yellow instructions. Remember to make a copy of this program, put it in a separate folder in case you botch something. Forget about it, kill it, and open up one and then make another copy because you might screw things up. Even though this is a well-protected program, I don't know what you guys out there or ladies out there could possibly do to this thing. We're not offering any rewards for people that can break the program, by the way. That's not it. So, having said all that, here's what you do. You come down here and you copy and paste and you stick it up here. Read these little instructions. And then you can edit it. For example, see we have 7 hello investors. Well, we took that out. Now, right here, you can copy and paste. We created a 3-volume library in case you like something that you've written. Well, stick it in there. It's a little place for it. The same thing about the summary of the opportunity. This time we gave you 5. And they could be real handy if you're working on several different businesses. You might want to save one and use it again. Well, that's pretty much it, folks. Thanks very much for listening, and good luck.